I think, just initially I thought the stuff, the velocity was good. There were some good sliders, but I think early on it just kind of, the game didn't gain any momentum. I think that there was a couple, the first two pitches he threw broken bad hits, and he has a stressful first inning, which shouldn't have even kind of it manifested itself. And, early on it was 6 hits. He only given up 2 balls that were hit hard, the homer by Contreras and the Almora first pitch heater to left field. And then it just sort of, with these guys, to their credit, they grinded bats. And there were some good pitches that Clayton was making, but they were spoiling. And obviously the pitch count rose pretty quickly. And they got some big homers. So, it was one of those games where I was just counting outs and, it was just getting kind of haywire there. But, to Clayton's credit, he wanted to keep going. And fortunately for us, we have a bullpen that's been lights out.
How difficult is it to manage a guy who has a resume that warrants keeping him in, but when his stuff just isn't there, perhaps saving him from himself, if you will?
Absolutely. And that's something that, I try to be mindful of, and talking to Clayton, talking to Honey, and understanding his workload prior, where he's at the next start and things like that, and how he's throwing. Most importantly, how he's throwing the baseball. So with that part of the order for me, I liked our chance with the pitcher, 3 away. But, fortunately we had, to give him that opportunity, I felt good about. And it was a hitter-by-hitter situation there in the 5th inning. But it was big for Josh to come in and get us out of that one.
You talk so much about the matchup in this one, 2 really good left-handed pitchers. Neither goes past 4 1/3. This is just another illustration of sometimes you just never know what to expect.
That's why you play. And I think it was billed as going to be a pitcher's duel. And I think we're a pretty good hitting ball club, and as are they. But, 2 good guys took the mound. Ball was flying, but they were squared up. And, when you see Lester and Kershaw on the mound, you don't expect, the runs that were produced today. So that's why we play. That's what makes this game great.
How much does it mean to you to sweep the defending champions?
Well, I think it's regardless of who the opponent is. I think it's huge to sweep. And I think you look at the homestand, 8-2 on the homestand, and, some pretty good ball clubs that we played well against. So I think that, going on the road, going back into St. Louis and Milwaukee, a team that's playing well. But, yeah, the Cubs are the current world champions, and to play well against those guys, I think it certainly, not that we need it, but there's a little validation there, I guess.
Franklin has had some pretty serious gastrointestinal stuff in the past. Is the illness that knocked him out of today's game connected to?
Yeah, it was. And, with Franklin, with how he manages it, and there's certain days that he just can't go. And, to his credit, he wanted to keep going. But to see the energy for me and that second hit, and to see him go after the baseball and understanding who's on the mound for them and who's on the mound for us, I just felt that, to get Yasiel in the game, and and obviously we don't know what we're going to get from Franklin today, even on the offense. So to look out for the club and for his own health, I just felt that it was the right decision, and he was frustrated because he wanted to keep going, but that's a decision that I had to make.
Do you always take that day by day with him?
Yeah, each day, I just want to make sure I check in with him, make sure how he's feeling, and typically it's been pretty good. But there are days where he doesn't feel as well.
Oftentimes bullpens can be the bane of your existence, but this bullpen's been ridiculous. Lowest ERA in the National League as far as a pen is concerned. What has Josh done to be so effective with these guys that they can execute?
I think, with Josh, obviously, we have good players, but, a lot of the information we get from upstairs, Josh is plus in conveying that message and having the pitchers in the pen believe it. And, when you get that combination with Rick and the mechanics, and these guys are as confident, and rightfully so, as anybody, but, you take ability with incredible information, and it's pretty lethal.
Just to go back to Franklin real quick, after that, I guess was the second hit of the game, the blooper to left field. Is that when you kind of wanted to talk to him after that? Was that when you made the decision?
Yes. So at that point in time, I just had a brief conversation with him, but I also had to be mindful he was the fourth hitter, and to make sure Yasiel was ready to go.
Well, you seem a little relaxed. A little more?
He was. Today he, I think that with Yasiel, we had a conversation earlier today, and it was just more of just encouraging, and he's really defending, and he's helping us win games, with his glove, and just continue to put in the work and help us win baseball games. So, to his credit, when he was sort of ambushed in the first inning, to welcome that opportunity and to have a game to help us win, good for him.
Do you think he'd get to that ball in the corner?
I no, and the way the game was going, it was Rizzo at the plate, so you're counting outs right there. I don't know many guys that have made that play and stay with it. Yeah.
Dave, it's 2 months in. Austin Barnes has been your pack catcher the whole season. What about his play? First, today he has to catch Kershaw and 4 relievers, and of course he has a big hit. What do you have to say about that?
I think Austin, you're seeing the game, or he's seeing the game a little bit slower this year. Last year was the first time I had a chance to put eyes on him, and when he was here, albeit up and down, it was quick. And that makes sense because you really don't have that certainty that you're going to be here. But this year, through the whole spring and here, knowing his role, and he's going to be with us, I think that he's exhaled. He's confident, comfortable. He's worked a ton on his throwing, and with Bob Guerin and the hitting coaches, his approach, he's getting on base. Love him in the box. He's great on the team. So to have a guy like that who can also play second base adds to the versatility. He's a winning player, doing great.
Cody scored a bunt in that first at-bat on the first pitch. Was that him trying to bunt on his own?
That was. It's just one of those things with if they're going to give us an opportunity to get a bunt base hit, then we're going to take it. And after that, Bryant moves in, and fortunately, he chose to swing the bat.
Kike didn't have a ton of success against Lester before today in his career, but you had him fifth, place where he could drive in runs. Obviously, it paid off. What was the thought process behind it?
I think for me, it's just I like his at-bat quality. I think that there is some history, but when you're talking 12, 13, 14 at-bats, that's so minute, and I go on the way the guy's swinging the bat, and so I like him right there. And 3-0, he earned that opportunity to swing 3-0, and I gave him the green light.